If you're doing everything right, cutting carbs, taking meds, walking after meals, yet your A1C won't budge, today might be the missing piece. Most people with diabetes are quietly low in 3 vitamins that power insulin sensitivity, nerve repair, and day-long energy. When those levels are off, your blood sugar control is like driving with the handbrake on. Let's lift it. Think of your metabolism like a team sport. Meds are the star player. Diet and movement are your offense. Sleep and stress are defense. But vitamins? They're the oxygen and the turf you play on. If they're wrong, the whole game slows down. 3 vitamins keep showing up in research. And in real-world success stories, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and folate, also called B9. These 3 touch insulin function, nerve health, red blood cell production, inflammation, even blood vessel flexibility. Neglect them, and you may fight daily roller coasters, post-meal spikes, afternoon crashes, burning feet, brain fog, cravings. Support them, and things start to feel easier. Meals hit softer. Energy lasts. Sleep improves. Motivation returns. Vitamin D, the insulin whisperer. I'm going to show you a simple test. Then dose rhythm for vitamin D. That can unlock better glucose numbers in weeks without megadosing or guesswork. What vitamin D actually does? Vitamin D receptors live on your pancreatic beta cells and in your muscles. When vitamin D is adequate, beta cells can do their job, release insulin properly, and your muscles listen to that insulin signal more effectively. Vitamin D also calms chronic low-grade inflammation that makes insulin resistance worse. It supports nerve repair, bone strength, and immune balance. In short, it quietly helps everything you want in diabetes. Why so many people with diabetes run low? Insulin resistance and ongoing inflammation can interfere with vitamin D metabolism. Less time outdoors, darker skin tones, winter months, aging skin, kidney or liver issues, all of these lower vitamin D status. And yes, frequent urination during periods of high blood sugar correlates with losing more water-soluble nutrients and generally signals a system under stress. How you'll know? It's low fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. Muscle weakness. Slow. Wound healing. More infections than usual. Bone or back aches. Sometimes mood swings. You won't know for sure without a blood test, but your body often hints. The lab to ask for request. 25-hydroxy vitamin D, 2,5-OHD. Many clinicians consider approximately 2250 ng per milliliter acceptable. And they'll personalize a target for you based on your history, meds, bones, and kidneys. The point is to test, not guess. Food first, because it compounds benefits. Fatty fish like salmon or sardines, egg yolks, and UV-exposed mushrooms help. Food won't always correct a deficiency alone. But stacking food plus smart sunlight plus a sensible supplement gives you the most stable results. Supplementing without guessing, a common conservative starting point for adults is 1,000 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily with a meal. Then adjust based on your follow-up lab. Some people need more, some need none. Your clinician may pair D with vitamin K2 to help direct calcium where it belongs again. Personalize this if you're on blood thinners or have vascular calcification concerns. Hidden pitfalls: don't megadose because you saw it online. High doses over time can raise calcium and stress kidneys. Don't expect vitamin D to fix everything if magnesium is low. Magnesium is a cofactor in vitamin D activation. If you cramp at night, feel twitchy eyelids, or crave chocolate, ask your clinician about magnesium 2 mini-action for this week's schedule, the 25OD lab. Add 2 vitamin D-friendly meals, salmon with lemon plus a mushroom stir-fry. If you already supplement, take it with your largest meal for better absorption. Plan a 15-minute sunlight walk after breakfast or lunch. Close the loop in 8 to 12 weeks. Retest. If vitamin D nudges into your clinician's target range, watch what happens to your fasting numbers, post-meal curves, and daytime energy. They often smooth out together. Vitamin B12, the neuropathy decoy, if you're on metformin. This one's huge. Metformin is fantastic for insulin sensitivity. But over time, it can quietly lower B12. And B12's deficiency looks almost identical to diabetic neuropathy. What B12 does, think electrician for your nervous system. B12 maintains myelin, the insulation around nerves, makes red blood cells oxygen for your brain and muscles, helps convert homocysteine to methionine, a pathway tied to vessel health and inflammation. When B12 is right, people report fewer pins and needles, steadier focus, better stamina. Why it's low so often? Metformin can interfere with B12 absorption over time. Aging reduces stomach acid, and B12 from food needs stomach acid and intrinsic factor to get in. Acid reducing meds add another roadblock. Vegetarian and vegan patterns are absolutely workable, but require more intentional B12 planning, since plant foods don't naturally provide it. Symptoms that get brushed off: numbness or burning in feet and hands, clumsiness, balance changes, exhaustion, brain fog, mood dips, paler skin. In advanced deficiency, vision changes. These overlap with diabetes complications so closely that B12 is often overlooked. The labs to request: ask for serum B12 plus MMA methylmalonic acid. MMA rises when your tissues are B12 hungry. Some clinicians also check homocysteine. The combo paints a clearer picture than B12 alone. Food first: sardines, salmon, eggs, dairy, and meat are solid sources. If you're plant-based, lean on fortified foods and/or a supplement. Supplementing smart to common forms work well. Methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin. A typical, safe starting place is 1,000 mcg 1 mg daily by mouth or sublingual. If absorption is impaired, your clinician may use injections. The key is rechecking labs and, equally important, tree-checking how you feel. Tingling, balance, stamina, mental clarity. The B12 folate dance. B12 and folate work in overlapping pathways. Fixing one while ignoring the other can mask issues in labs. We'll hit folate next. For now, remember, test both if you have symptoms and users. One simple habit: put a yearly reminder in your phone. Metformin check gives B12 plus MMA. If you already have neuropathy, consider every 6 to 12 months. If you change your dose or add a PPI acid reducer. Tell your clinician it matters. Mini-action for this week. Add 1 B12-rich meal: eggs with greens, sardine salad, yogurt bowl with walnuts. If you're supplementing, set a daily alarm so you actually take its consistency over heroics. Track how your feet feel at night on a 1 to 10 scale. Small changes are easy to miss unless you measure close the loop in 8 to 12 weeks. Recheck B12 MMA and your symptom score. When B12 lands in a good place for you, neuropathy often feels less loud even before A1C changes. That's motivating. Folate B9, the cellular repair crew if energy is flat. Wounds heal slowly or your homocysteine is up. Folate may be the quiet lever you've missed. What folate does: it's a co-author of new cells, DNA synthesis, red blood cell production, neurotransmitters, and vascular health. It helps keep homocysteine in check, good for blood vessels and nerves. In diabetes, that means better tissue repair, steadier mood and cognition, and fewer "why am I so wiped out" days. Why? It falters. Chronic inflammation increases demand. Some meds, including metformin, can affect absorption. Folate is water-soluble, so if you're urinating a lot during high glucose periods, you may be losing more. Diet patterns: light on legumes and greens don't refill the tank. How to eat your folate: lentils, black beans, chickpeas, spinach, kale, chard, asparagus, avocado. If you like organ meats, liver is ultra-rich. Not for everyone, but it's there. A bean and greens lunch with olive oil, lemon, and seeds is a folate bomb-less fiber to flatten post-meal curves, supplement form. That's easier to use if you supplement. Many people choose L-methylfolate 5 (MTHF) rather than synthetic folic acid. A conservative common daily amount is 400 to 800 mcg unless your clinician directs otherwise. If you're trying to conceive or pregnant, your dose need is personalized talk with your care team. Folate plus B12. Fix both if they're low if you correct folate but miss B12. You can look better on paper while nerves still struggle. Pair your testing and retesting. If homocysteine is high, recheck it after 8 to 12 weeks on a folate plus B12. Plan Yule, see if your pathway is happier. Mini-action for this week. Build a 10-minute folate bowl. Canned lentils, rinsed, big handful of spinach, chopped cucumber, tomato, olive oil, lemon, salt, pepper, pumpkin seeds. Add tuna or boiled eggs for extra protein. Make 2 bowls, save 1 for tomorrow. Simple wins repeat to close the loop when folate status improves. People often notice steadier energy, better focus, fewer mouth sores, and healthier skin. It's not dramatic like a caffeine hitis, the kind of quiet stability that compounds. Stack it without overwhelm. You don't need a dozen bottles. You need a simple, test-tankered stack and a rhythm you'll keep. A clean, weekly rhythm. Morning sunlight, walk 10 to 15 minutes for vitamin D signaling bonus glucose control. 2 fish meals, 2 banana greens meals, 2 egg on veg breakfasts per week. If supplementing, D3 with your biggest meal. B12 in the morning. L-methylfolate with any meal. Track 3 things for 14 days. Fasting glucose. 90 to 120-minute post-meal glucose after your trickiest meal. And a quick symptom score, energy/neuropathy. Brain fog, closing parenthesis, red flags to loop your clinician into kidney disease history. Of stones, sarcoidosis, parathyroid issues, pregnancy, blood thinners, very high calcium, or unexplained anemia. These don't mean don't take vitamins. They mean personalize them.